Hello and welcome everyone, I'm C.S.Gilmore and this is the Backrooms Escape. Now, I'm going to give you some warnings here, we're jumping in. Mainly, I apologize for any loud noises in this game. There is, unless I've completely missed it after multiple checks, there are zero methods of adjusting the in-game volume and sound other than to lower and raise my own computer sound. And so you'll go from some quiet spots to some noisier points throughout this. Alright, so that's off warning wise. There's probably also going to be some flashing lights. As you can see, there's already, alarms, klaxons flapping here and there. And just in the opening menu. Alright, so there's 3 chapters, and I think we can probably get through all of them in one go. Just in this one episode. I don't think this is going to be a multi-episode situation. I played through these pretty recently with my kids. It was an interesting experience. Not the best Backrooms experience I've had, but it wasn't bad. The reviews I saw all said that the first chapter and first area were the worst, and I didn't think it was that bad. Whee! And we're in the Backrooms. Alright. And we're in. Don't know what he was doing with the camera, wandering the trail somewhere, but here we are. Now we gotta find our way through here.
Hello? Is anybody here?
We do have a flashlight. Huh. Alright. Yeah, so this is actually, I can see why some people wouldn't like this area. Just because it looks a lot of this like this, and it is fairly large. You could get actually pretty lost here easily enough. That said, we need to get in here. We need a tool for that. Which means I have to go look for it. It's really dark without the flashlight on. Nothing in here. Odd little setup, like a nurse's station, but with mannequins or something. Now there is an entity on this first floor, and like I said, it is a fairly large place. That said, when I played before, I was able to avoid the entity, no problem, and get the items I needed and get out. There was only like once where it got even closer to me. Yes, that's a good sign. And we should hear it well before it gets anywhere near us. Let me see here. I just have to be able to listen here. There. That's it. And it's off. Run. Thankfully, we don't seem to have stamina in this game, so you can just book it. We lost it. And here's where we need to be. Full clippers. Alright. Odd little setup. Now there is a bit of a story to go along with this whole place. But we won't get into that yet. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm leaving. I need to come back here for that. Went a little too fast. Alright, grab that. As you can see, there was a very dead guy there. Okay, we're good. This guy escaped. I can loop it through a few of these walls. Get a break line of sight, I think we'll be able to. There we go. I just have to get back to the door. Thankfully, I have a very good map sense, and I know which direction I need to go. I'm actually looking around a little bit because I just want to see if there's anything else in the area that can be seen. Ah, there. I remember seeing this before. Yeah. Someone died. Pretty badly here. Alright, that means that's good. We're really close to where we need to be. We got both of the items we need to continue. But I can see why people wouldn't like this level in a lot of ways, just because it does, it is big enough. If you don't have a good map sense for it, you could get very lost. And
Hello?
if you didn't know about the run feature, maybe, you might have trouble with, say, escaping that thing. Alright, bunch of general stuff here. They watching you. Camera. Yep, that is indeed tracing. Alright. But we need to go in here, which means we need the card to go there. And we can go through here. And, alright. Let's see what we can interact with. Anything? Fun designs on walls. Lots of sticky notes, which... That's really weird, actually, because I'd see no pins on those, and sticky notes would not stick on that type of board. Because that type of board would not have the right type of surface for sticky notes to really work on. Alright, get to kill the light just for a sec so I can see anything here a little better. Sometimes it gets a little too bright up close and then I can't see. Alright, looks like we're good to move on. And in we go. Portal. Or elevator. Not sure which. I guess allegedly those are dimensional portals. Can we just back right in? Go again? Nope. Okay, we can't go back. Block 1.
Hello?
Yeah. My man, did you not just learn from the giant monster in the other place? And there's obvious signs that things went wrong here. Why would you yell? I love this effect. The the blood spreading out in a weird root-like effect up walls and stuff. Which suggests that all of these people here probably got killed by and infected by a bacterium, which is that creature we got chased by there. So I should be able to find some info here somewhere. Oh, here's a place to save our game. Documents. We can check documents by going here. Well, Object 12, Bacterium. Object 12, also called a bacterium, has a black color presumably composed of mold. Is quite fast and also appears to be a hunter. All contacts with him eventually led to the death of groups of volunteer subjects. It is rare. Object 12 is extremely dangerous. At the moment, all attempts to contact Object 12 have resulted only in numerous human casualties. I strongly recommend strengthening our outpost at level 0. Alright, here's another card we need. Because apparently our guy can't just, insert a card and then take it back out and move on. No, you have to get a new card every time you need to open a door like that. Downside, I wish they made the screens, the view more clear. But you interact with that and then now I've got a new document. Excuse me. Hi, listen. I think you might have noticed that there's been a change in security around here, and I'm not too happy about it. The new guards are from some company called LockNet Security, and they're acting like they own the place. They boss us around and everything. Yes, I know that LockNet is owned by Sonax, but they're not really Sonax employees, They're supposed to keep the complex safe from outsiders, but instead, they're keeping us safe from ourselves. What the heck is going on? Huh. I wonder who wrote these. Who wrote these arrows? Just yeah, go this way. Because you'd think anyone who was here already would not need those. Especially in this area, since this is their base. Oh, that's not good. You? I would say the bacterium has spread and is growing into a thing.
Attention. A state of emergency has been declared on the premises of the complex. Please leave the area.
State of emergency, huh? Anything we can look at? Knock those lights off. Have right with the lights. There's a document. Level 0. All rooms level 0 look monotonous and have common features such as yellow wallpaper, damp carpets, and randomly arranged fluorescent lamps. Level 0 is inhabited by Object 12. According to our estimates, the area level 0 is over 600 million square miles. So be vigilant and keep going until you find an outpost. Or die. This is probably more likely the case. Well, they're dead, and definitely turning into a monster probably. Because, that's not normal looking corpse. Ew. Biohazard. Yep. Also, we're not wearing a suit. I mean, we're just some Joe Schmo that fell into a portal, right? So, can't go through there. Have to go this way. So yeah, we're here, but we're not protected. My nose is up. itchy.
Hello there, dear listeners. This is the Echo of the Night, and I am your host, the Night Wanderer. Tonight, we'll be delving into the enchanting world of nighttime dreams and undiscovered stories. What an amazing world we live in, especially at night. During these late hours, we can hear our own thoughts and perhaps find answers to questions that haunt us during the day. We've just received a phone call from a listener, and you're on the line.
Hello there, Wanderer. I wanted to tell you a bit about the Sonax company. Have you heard of them? Recently, some representatives came to my home and offered me the opportunity to become a volunteer. I declined, but I was intrigued by the company and what they do. I discovered that they're a laboratory conducting research on something, though I couldn't figure out exactly what. But I'm determined to find out.
Oh, I think there might be some kind of communication issue. But that's okay. I suggest we listen to a song that is meant for deep reflection. Please get comfortable and relax. Please keep an eye on our program and remember that your thoughts at night are the most important thing that fills the airwaves. We will be back soon.
Alrighty. I think I have owned this exact pair of scissors at some point in time. Admittedly, that's probably because they're mass-produced, but it's funny to see them in a game. I always forget to silence this thing. Every single time. I always forget to silence my phone before I start recording. And then someone decides to start messaging in the group chat. Or some notification comes up. Alright, anything we can interact with it. Doesn't look like it, just that to listen to. Alright, we can go that way. What about this way then? Huh. Alright. 0715. Pretty sure you're not supposed to leave the codes out like that. Huh. It's like an old mine or a bunker. Looks like so this looks like just a natural cave. Oh, there's another security card. I could keep that. Document. A brief history of Sonax. John Fitzgerald Walker founded the company Walker & Co., which was engaged in the study of classified. The laboratories were built in 1983 after signing a contract with classified for the study of unknown at that time classified. 1988, Walker & Co. breaks its contract with Classified, changes its name to Sonax Inc., and then becomes a completely independent company. Sonax opened a portal to an unknown space that seems endless. Ooh, that looks weird. Really cool effect. But that's probably not healthy. Also, sorry if my voice gets a little weird every once in a while. I'm still a bit of a cold, giving me some trouble. But for the most part, I'm doing alright. Being over this thing pretty quick. Alright, we're going out here. We're on the other side of that. Anything cool? No? Can we go in here? Ah, this looks like another room for documents or something. And emergency broadcast.
Attention. This is the emergency broadcast system of the United States of America. An unknown incident has occurred. The evacuation of the city has been announced. The military forces have already been sent there. Please remain calm. The situation will be resolved within a few hours. Repeat. This is the emergency broadcast system of the United States of America. An unknown incident has occurred. The evacuation of the city has been announced. The military forces have already been sent there. Please remain calm. The situation will be resolved within a few hours.
Man, that... I know that alarm is designed to get everyone's attention, but it can be really annoying too. Alright, nothing else to interact with in here? Just that? Okay. Moving on. Boom. Mother. Ah, yes, this door looks safe. Not. Come on. Oh, that's right. Code. Yeah. Looks like a security station up there. Another questionably dead body. And another whatever this is. Alright. New place. Barbed wire. Old boxes. Not sure what that symbol's supposed to mean. Auto crouch, okay. Documents, level 37. Commonly called pool rooms, are rooms and corridors slightly submerged in undulating lukewarm water. The walls, ceilings, and floors of the level appear to be made of the same white ceramic tile. Such tiles are in frighteningly pristine condition. They are all identical to each other, without a single hint of damage on their shiny surfaces. Okay, can't interact with any of that. Nope, nope. Alright, nothing there. 9-5. Yeah. Need a code for that. Don't have a card for that. 2587. Well, nice of them to put a code on the other side. Oops. 2. It actually does matter which buttons I push here. Come on, line up. Nope. There we go. 2, 5, 8, 7, pound. Through. Alright, yep, this is the pool rooms, alright. I'm just gonna hold run. Oh, that reminds me. Settings. Some of you might not like the movement effect. If I remember right, there was a control for that. Camera shake. Let's turn that off. Ah, much better. Alright, I actually kind of like it not shaking everywhere as well. So yeah, let's do that. So we can actually look around and not have everything jittering. And I mean, I like the effect at the same time of it looking like it's someone actually carrying it and running. But long term it gets annoying, especially since I want to run everywhere because otherwise walking is way too slow. I almost wish that run was just a toggle a feature. Though a fun effect I did notice, if I just hold the shift key, without moving. Like, I still breathe like I'm running. So I just imagine pressing the shift key and the guy's just in place. Who will roll? Something else I've noticed, after that first level, none of the other levels in this game seem to have 424. Don't know what that's about. None of the other levels in this game seem to have quite as big a map, or as open. They're all much more linear after this. So it's more of a experience, like walking simulator experience through a liminal space and whatnot, with the occasional thing that I have to deal with. Puzzles, or like more of a find items, build lore, talk about it, and avoid the occasional monster or something. But for the most part, it's just running from location to location, seeing things, which is okay. Not all, like, it's in some ways a backroom experience where you don't have to constantly be dodging monsters is nice, right? Don't need that. Nothing to interact with here. Can't go there. Can't interact with that. Okay. Doesn't look like the water actually reacts to us moving through it at all, which is kind of interesting. Alright. Crouch. I'm kind of not sure why they had a crouched area here. Just because, like, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't just have it as an area you could go in without having to crouch. Because the crouching slows you down. This is back where we started, I believe. Good. Which is nice. We need to go out this way. We can now put the card in here. And go through. Push. You know, I should probably save real quick just so in case like something goes wrong. That said, I had no problems with this game crashing at all when I played it with kids, so I don't think it'll give us any issues now. Next area. Documents. Printout. Good day, colleagues. This message is addressed to all members of the team. As you are aware, our recent research with volunteers on border spaces has not yielded the desired results, and our senior management has therefore decided to pursue additional research. To this end, we require the recruitment of a new group of participants to conduct these experiments. The guards have already been notified of the preparations for the upcoming tests, and the facility has been placed on high security status. Please ensure that you do not lose your key cards. Thank you for your understanding. Proceeds to leave their key cards everywhere. Though to be fair for the one guy who we got the first key card from, he did keep it on him, he just died in the process. Yes, the fun rooms. I have to say, these fun rooms are not nearly the same experience with nothing to murder me in it. And without the classic Daisy, Daisy, give me your answers song playing in that usual way that they tend to do it with this. Need that. I would say the downside of this game, it's very easy to overlook little things. Like, I could easily have missed that collectible there, or that that tool that we need to progress the story, and just had to run around here for who knows how long looking for it if I hadn't found it already. Because I know I'm going to need it up ahead. And they don't seem to put extras. Level fun. Small party room. We're having so much fun here. Okay. But there's nothing actually here. I can't go up there. I have 0 jump. Go. Little clip. In we go. Yeah, in other Backrooms games I played, the fun rooms are a lot more worrisome. Similarly, this area, the pipe rooms. This one, it seems to be like they just used it as a endless hall kind of feel, but it's not. And there we go, end of that one. Finish the first chapter. For some reason I didn't have that achievement already, even though I've done that with my kids. That's the first chapter down. Hello. Anything? Oh, hey. There's stuff here. Sonax test. Relax and focus on testing. Do you know your name? Yes. Do you know where you are right now? No. Would you like to wake up? Let's say yes. I honestly don't think these matter. Do you enjoy taking risks? No. Are you a responsible individual? Yes. Stage 1 passed. Yeah, I answered that differently before. I'm really not sure if it has any tie into anything.
Cleaner, engineer, astronaut, scientist, or even a person without a place to live. It doesn't matter who you are. Sonax invites you to join us for a series of short trials for which you will receive $500. Yes, you heard right, exactly $500 for 30 minutes. With this money, you can make a gift to your family, buy food, or pay for your fracture received under unknown circumstances. Sonax is waiting for you. Attention, Sonax Inc. is not responsible for injuries received on the territory of laboratories. The subject's family will not receive payment in the event of the subject's death. Test results may be voided and funds will not be paid.
In other words, we have a whole bunch of ways to get out of actually paying. Cameras 1 through 7. Space exit. Alright, 1. That's not good. 2. Body, hallway. 3. That's not good either. If I had to guess, that person is not a person. They don't look right. 4. Can't tell what that's supposed to say. but they're dead. 5. Nothing going on there. 6. That looks familiar. 7. That looks familiar too. Did we pass through an area where this guy was and we just didn't see him? Makes me wonder. Alright, space to exit.
Unknown person has entered the complex. Do not let him interfere with the course of the experiment.
Seems like they like to use an AI voice for a lot of these things. Or what kind of feels like an AI voice. But I'm not sure if it 100% sure is. Or if that was maybe just what they were going for that weird, not quite right speech feel. Anyway. Apparently this is called Level Dreamland or something like that. Alright. We have to find the right building. When I first played here with my kids, I ran all over the place. One, there are invisible walls. For some reason, they felt the need to put invisible walls up after so long, so you can't just wander off too far. It is a fairly big area still, though. I spent several minutes running around trying to figure out where in the blazes I was supposed to go next. And I went the long way around. I went out to that tower first, went around all the way over there to that tower, and back up this way. And it wasn't until I got to, I think right over there, I think you can see a weird black dot below this house in the distance. I think that, as I recall, that's a sign saying, Sonax, left. This way. So I spent the entire time just running around this place, seeing these exact same empty houses everywhere. Like this. And then running on some more. But knowing what I know now, we should be able to get out of here real quick by just going up here. I'm not aware of any other items in here that I can interact with, unless I completely missed something. So here we go. Light on everything. This is a funky one. We'll save here. Car. Guess we should head towards it. There is something in the basically. I think we can run back real quick. And it's gonna catch us again. We go here. Yes. And out. Now, the first time I played that, I actually didn't even see that thing. I heard it, and I just kept running, and I accidentally ran into this by accident. Because I barely could see where I was going at all. We got a better look at it that time. Weird field, weird creature. Did take a hit, but it looks like you have to get hit a certain amount before you even go down or get injured. Underground car park. built into the caves. Kind of funky. Looks like they were working on some stuff here. Let's see, any other grabbable lore bits? Fit through here. What about these? Another
Good
one of those
evening, dear listeners.
copies of
It's your faithful
Scissor.
companion in the world of nightly thoughts, the Night Wanderer, here again. At this time, when the world falls into darkness, let's come together and dive into a sea of emotions and infinite possibilities. Night is a magical time when silence fills the air and every soft whisper becomes especially meaningful. As we lose ourselves in this dark but beautiful embrace, we return to our own thoughts that we often leave for tomorrow. Tonight, we continue to hear your exciting and perhaps not so exciting stories. I have received another call. Hello, you are on air.
Hello, Wanderer. Have you heard the latest news? There's been an unusual event in a certain state, and they've announced an evacuation. Do you know what's going on?
Oh, that's news. No, my dear listener, I hadn't heard anything about it.
It's sad, but in any case, it's strange. I'm looking forward to more news.
Well, there's something to think about. I hope everything will be okay in the end. Don't hesitate to share your thoughts and feelings with us. We're here to listen, because each of us has a unique story. I want to know yours. To cheer you up, I've chosen another track. Stay with us, hear the distant sounds of night, and let's make this night memorable. I'm a wanderer, and our adventure has just begun.
You can definitely tell something's up with this guy, because he keeps cutting out weirdly. Like, someone calls, it brings up something, and he says, like, sorry, nope, can't talk about that, gotta move on. But he doesn't, like, say, hey, we can't talk about that. He's like, oh, sorry, nope, your signal broke off, sorry, nope, gotta move on, bye. Documents. Password. Mark, I know it's forbidden to leave notes related to the security of the facility, but I couldn't find you at your workplace. According to security protocols, I have to change passwords every 3 months. I am informing you of the new password from the security office, 5904. After reading, please tear up the note. He obviously did not. Excuse me. Go through here, back through here. Looks like this is a dead end. So up here we go. Hold on a sec. Is there a passage over there we could get into? Curiosity. Nope. Nope. Never mind. Looked like there might have been a spot there that could have been hidden away. Alright, off we go, running along. This looks like they took part of the level 0 type area and converted it into, what, offices? There's lights flashing beyond here. More biohazard. Sonax Employee Memo. Sonax Employee Memo. 1. Don't mention your job and company anywhere. 2. Don't mention your job and company anywhere. 3. Do not criticize the management. 4. Don't ask questions. 5. Do everything that will be ordered by the management. Yeah, this company so sounds above board and not at all like a corrupt, probably evil government something or other, or maybe not even government, but definitely not an evil company that is just using people like cannon fodder to do whatever it wants to do. Okay, we don't have key. This one needs code. What was our document again? 5904. 5904 pound. This looks like what we were seeing before, with the person sitting here and the note saying, "An intruder has entered the facility. Make sure they don't interrupt the experiments." So this would be where they were watching us arrive from, probably? Alright, keycard, printout. Attention all guards, we have a situation here. An object of unknown origin, presumably a bacterium, has entered the complex through the research area. We have lost contact with the outpost point at level 0, and an emergency situation has been declared. All entrances and exits to the complex are now blocked. Due to this, all personnel working in the research area have been placed in quarantine. The guard's responsibility is to monitor compliance with measures to isolate this sector and to report on the progress of the work to senior management. In other words, everything's bad, we're locking everything down. Cool. Pretty sure your security system is supposed to show more than just these 6 cameras. Oh well. Moving on. Now we've got a security card. Right? Yeah. Exit sign. Oh. Open. Nope. Just pin the ground. Guess there was something in the area. Probably a bacterium. Alright. I think that's chapter 2 done. Alright. Stage 1 pass. No, that was just stage 1. Or was asked, did we do stage 1? Yes. Are you prone to telling lies? No. Is this photo weird? Can't make out enough to say. Nope. Do you know about us? Yes. Is this photo weird? Yes. Do you believe us? No. Do you know them? Nope. Stage 2 passed. It matters what we say, yes or no wise. It would be interesting if it did actually.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Ending.
My name is John Fitzgerald Walker, and I am the founder of Sonax. I take it you're a new employee, or are you a so-called volunteer? I don't think it's that important. In any case, you have already signed a non-disclosure agreement, and I can say what I want here. In these frames, you can observe one of the underground blocks of the laboratory. Their construction was quite expensive, but still we saved a little on the fact that practically nothing had to be dug up. Yes, we bought out the old military bunkers and combined them, building laboratories in their place. Don't tell anyone about this. Thanks for your attention.
Made to order by Sonax Inc. Yep, and now we're going into chapter 3. Good. So just saying, non-disclosure agreements mean absolutely nothing if your company is obviously doing illegal junk. you can still go to the government about that. Like, those are non-disclosure agreements only work if the company's being legal. It's like, hey, don't give out company secrets.
Hi, I don't think you know who I am. I am the director of this complex. I have a little something I want to talk to you about. Of course, you can't say no because you're on my turf. You need to head over to the main control room and I'll explain everything in more detail.
Uh-huh. Well, that's a Shining reference. Sonax, copying other. State of the company. Alright. Anything else in here for us? Stairwell. What over here? Nope, nothing. So yeah, I would say the story could use a little bit better writing-wise. Definitely feels like it was designed by maybe maybe a non-native English speaker, with how some of the... You can't open that door right now. With some of the sentences just feel a little awkward. I don't think that's supposed to be there, judging from the way this building is shaped. Yeah. But, anyway, as I was saying, non-disclosure agreements. They mean absolutely nothing if your company is doing a bunch of illegal junk. You're still perfectly fine, and go to the police about that. They'll threaten you and try to make you think, hey, we'll tear you apart in court. But if they're doing actually illegal junk,
the following message is being transmitted by order of the United States Department of Defense. This is not a test. Today at 8:39 p.m. there was a serious incident at the Sonax research complex, as a result of which an unknown life form left the complex. The incident resulted in multiple casualties. Nearby towns will be evacuated and the area will be cordoned off. Repeat. The following message is being transmitted by order of the United States Department of Defense. This is not a test. Today at 8:39 p.m. there was a serious incident at the Sonax research complex, as a result of which an unknown life form left the complex. The incident resulted in multiple casualties. Nearby towns will be evacuated and the area will be cordoned off.
Alright, what have we got here? Brain scans. People. Not sure. Anything we can grab here? Nope, doesn't look like it. What is this? Paper. Just random reams of paper. Oh, there's a card. Gonna need that. And that looks like there's a teleporter there. And there was a doorway on the stairs that we needed to use a card for. There we go. Now, if I were here, I would have grabbed probably both of these, hammer and screwdriver. Because, unlike this guy who we're playing as, honestly, I probably wouldn't even care about the recording at this point. I'd be going, yeah, no, I need defense. Self-defense. Also, this whole thing with, like, the director going, yeah, of course you're going to do what I tell you to do. You're on my turf. It's like, no, screw you. Strange stuff. Go through there. Zoom. Zoom. Go up there, that's blocked. Yeah. Go right. Do. Door does not open.
Wrong door. The control room's the other way.
Alright, so here then. Can't do anything with that one. Nothing with that one. This door, boom. Can't do anything with this one, or the speaker there. Alright, what are we even looking at here? Settling tank. Bunch of reactor schematics. Gosh.
Welcome to the heart of this place. The core, you know. So, our experiment didn't go as planned, but it's not something I want to talk about right now. What we need to do is destroy the core, but first, you need to get to those power systems and shut them down. To get there, you'll have to go through some liminal spaces. The entrance to those spaces isn't too far from here. Good luck.
Uh-huh. And I would need to shut these down. Why? Why would I care? Obviously you guys made a mess of this place. Why would I care about cleaning up your mess? Let's see. Now we go here. Ah, we were up in that control room. Another dead person. Documents. The mall appears to be an empty shopping center. Most of the stores are owned by established large companies, but many of the counters are only partially occupied. Some shops have been closed with roller shutters that are still inaccessible. The areas in which the outpost is located is in a state of disrepair. So yeah, I kind of feel like this game, I don't know, it feels like it's not bad, but it's also missing something a little bit. I feel like it could probably be slightly better writing-wise. Like, I don't know why my character would be going along with any of this. And there's also a lot of areas here, like, it doesn't seem to explain, it just expects me to look around until I realize, oh hey, there's an interaction here. Like, when I first played this area with my kids, I found these interactions by text. I could have missed those and spent a lot of time just wandering around, and you're going, what am I missing? Because I've never had to interact with a wall board like that before in this game otherwise. Now we have to look around. Find some stuff. Retail space for lease. Yeah, I don't like that. Power on. Yeah, that's not true. Well, that's on the list of things that they do in this game that I don't like. Why? Because as far as I know, nothing comes of that. It just, there's a weird little creepy thing to do there. I want that to be built into something. There were some areas here that it felt like they just fell short of actually acting on anything. It felt like they could have been something, and then it was maybe scrapped for development out of just, nah, we won't put something else further in. I could be wrong. Maybe they were just going for a, oh, that's creepy. Mannequins are creepy type of vibe, but it just feels weird to just have them just disappear and then not show up again, ever. Which, to the best of my knowledge, they don't. Size L to XXL.
Good evening, dear listeners. Welcome back to The Night Show, where we explore the world of dreams with your guide, The Night Wanderer. How nice of you to join me for this magical hour. The moonlight shines through the clouds, inviting us to discover the hidden secrets of our minds. Today, I want us to open up and share our nightly adventures with each other. And now, we have a call coming in. Hello there.
Hello, Wanderer. It's great to hear from you again. I was just wondering about that incident in the city.
Yes, I remember you.
My friend is part of the rescue team, so I've heard all about it. It was Sonax's fault, you know. Their reason.
Unfortunately, there seems to be some communication issue. Perhaps our listeners should check their phone lines. In the meantime, I would like to offer you a little gift, a song that seems to take us to a place where dreams become reality. Let's listen to this music together and allow it to envelop us in its calmness. Remember, I am the Night Wanderer, and we continue our journey on the silent roads of night. Join me and let joy and peace fill your heart.
Yeah, it definitely feels like... Can't go through there. It definitely feels like this Night Wanderer thing is just some part of the corporate setup to catch anyone talking about what's going on. And definitely totally not just a really odd radio thing. And I think my biggest gripe here is it's all those automated voices. That wasn't open before. Yeah, it's all those automated AI voice lines, like text-to-speech voice lines. I guess would be the more of it. Maybe not an AI so much as just text-to-speech voice. It feels like, and I feel like the whole thing would come across a lot better if it was actual people. If it was actually people giving it some emotion. Instead of just going, yes, Wanderer, I have heard that it is Sonax's fault. Shut up, quiet. Oh yes, this is normal. Cannot walk any closer to them. Not that I'd really want to, but game-wise, would have been interesting to be like, eat me! Creepy though. Do not enter. Now, I know, having gone through this and gotten the achievement for it, this is level Abyss. 4. like there's a whole other place out there we can see. Alright. Now this next piece actually killed me once before. And so I figured out its mechanic. So I think we'll be okay this time. It is a little bit of a pain, but we can make it work. Do that. We'll leave. There you are. Creepy dude with really long arms and looks like a zombie. And works like a weeping angel. More or less. Could you please get out of that hallway? Or if we have to be in the dark with them? Or it's this down. Or if it's a matter of looking away to a certain degree. Okay, looking away to a certain degree. So now we have to maintain eye contact while we travel through here. One of these ways. Guess it was this one. Yeah. Not weird at all. Three. Now we have to get out of here. Alive. And you're blocking me. Of course you are. Still blocking. Come on. Okay, we're gonna take a hit here. But we should be able to get out. There we go. But we're through. Now I just have to get out of this while going backwards. It's gonna call us this way, that way. And we're crouched, we're clear. So that was 3, and now this area is opened up. Go in here and find another one. One. And I'm guessing that entity would be in that area too if I spent enough time in there, but I'm not sticking around there to find it. I found that one fairly easy because it actually made noise in an area that was easy to find last time, and hey, we're gonna just run in. and follow the sound and get to it without having to play guess which path in the dark. Go and slide. Back to the pool rooms. Alright, let's move on. Let's see here. Alright, that should be it for pesky things trying to kill us, for the time being at least. So let's just cover ground. Pool room. Pool rooms. Does whatever a pool room does. Research 21. In 1990, after several studies in classified, the company experienced the loss of many scientific personnel. Research was halted and the project became classified.
You're already at the sensory area. There's an electric control panel near here. Use it to turn off the power of the core.
This guy sounds like he might actually be a person, but I'm still not 100% convinced it is the text-to-speech device situation. But yeah, like I said, he at least sounds like he could be a person, potentially. Skin Stealers. The Skin Stealers are tall, humanoid creatures with pale skin and sunken white eyes. They have a layer of microscopic bumps covering their outer skin. These creatures attach themselves to the skin they have stolen from humans and pull it until they resemble a human being. It is important to be cautious and not trust everyone, as these creatures are able to imitate human speed. There is one such creature in our complex's research department. When visiting the detention area, please exercise caution and avoid going alone. Yeah, we have such a creature just hanging around. It likes to wear our skins. Be careful about that. Password for the control. The number of the kidnapping report. The number of the research report.
This is the main control room of the complex's power system. As soon as you turn off the generators, this will disable the core protection. There are also backup generators, but they're not connected to the core in any way.
Alright, we need more documentation books. I must have missed something in one of these other areas. Probably a hallway we could have gone down or a room we could have entered. Here. Yeah, here we go. Yep, kidnapping. Report 37, kidnapping. In 1994, Sonax Inc. engaged in the kidnapping of individuals and later, in secrecy, began conducting covert experiments on them, transporting them to a classified. Yep, totally evil corporation. They'll just kidnap people and be like, yeah, here, experimentation. Jump into the abyss. Totally not evil. We've completely lost control of the situation. The entire complex has been quarantined, but this has not helped. We are unable to to contact the outside world, as the entire network in the complex has been blocked by LockNet's security service. Only internal mail is working. If anyone is still able to read this message, please know that the management of Sonax and LockNet Security is to blame for all of this. Their reckless actions have led to this situation. Alright, now we've got what we need. Zoom. Back down to here. Now, this took me a while to find when I was playing with my kids. They have this hint here of, hey, there's a lamp here. But this little teeny keyboard here that you can barely see, yeah, that's the one I have to type this code into. So, password is kidnapping research. So, kidnapping is 37 research 21. 37 21. 3 7 2 1. Yeah, totally cannot tell if that's actually working. 3 7 2 1. There we go, now it's working.
The main power source for the core has been switched off, so you can head over to the main area now.
Now, when I first played through here, I was expecting a bit more from this. One, I feel like that mechanic with the keypad there needed work, because the visuals are not good enough to make out that that pad is there very well, or how well I'm interacting. Alright, we're going here. Hey, we're back here. This looks familiar. Yep, this is it.
Alright, we're nearly there. The main systems are down, so we can start the deactivating process. I'll open up the door for you.
Skin Stealers. You can understand that you are not a real person in front of you by unnatural speech, errors in stress, and brevity of the content of sentences. Okay, yeah, definitely some typo in the English here. Not sure what this thing's supposed to actually serve purpose-wise.
Okay, so you got to the core. Look, our research on the Backrooms failed. Some spores from Backrooms got into the complex. My employees are massively infected. Also, creatures from another dimension made their way in. I decided to quarantine the complex. But as you can see, none of our attempts to stop all this worked. That's why I need you to destroy the core. I can't let the infection spread outside the complex anymore. Do it. Help us out.
I'm not sure how destroying the core would actually help anything. But we don't get a say in the matter. We can't actually leave until we...
The quickest way to get out of the complex is through a dimensional portal.
Hint, hint, hint. I know exactly where a dimensional portal is, because I've been through this part of this complex before. Boom. Run this way, down this hall. Go in here. Boom. Back to here, and in we go. Whee! Different place. Not the place that took us to before, I'm pretty sure. Yep, definitely not the place it took us to before. Let's look around this place a bit. When I came here with my kids, I just basically shot right to the exit. I didn't look around, so I don't know if there's anything else actually in here. Doesn't look like it. If I recall correctly, this is supposed to be the library or something like that. This is a level in the back rooms, and there's something about I cannot read that note. It's just scribbled. I recall there was some rule about this floor where it's like, don't touch anything on the front desk, otherwise some entity will show up and come after you. I think it was party goers or something along those lines. Whatever the case is, there is nothing for us to interact with here that we can actually interact with. See if we can follow these cords where they go. Behind these bookcases. Totally. Yep. Alright. Well, the end. We go back here. Totally an exit. And we go through. Then we have this fun little bit, which I was really expecting to be something more than what it ended up being. Welcome to, anyone remember the Forest Temple from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time? This gives that kind of vibe with the hallway here. Except for Legend of Zelda didn't make it quite as drawn out a process as I recall. It was a bit of a process, but it was not nearly this bad of like, okay, cool, we have to run and run and run and run and run and run and run type of deal. Oh, I can turn on the lights. Interesting wallpaper. I'd be worried about walking on these doors. In case one of them like opened and I fell through. But no, instead, we get to run all the way to the end here and then off the edge. So the next test. Relax and focus on testing. Yeah. Do you believe in us? Nope. Do you believe in otherworldly worlds? Yes. Do you know how long you have been here? Nope. Have you been here before? Yes, actually. Stage 3 passed. Boom. And suddenly we're back out in the real world.
Good morning, dear listeners. The morning has arrived, and we are waking up from our nightly fairy tale into a world filled with bright colors and endless possibilities. A night walker has been with you, and before we bid you farewell until the next evening, let us take a moment to breathe in and enjoy this magical atmosphere of a brand new day. As the night fades away and the day dawns, I wish you all the best wishes for good luck, inspiration, and warmth. May the morning sun bring you light and hope, and remember that every night has an end, but a new day has just begun. The Nightwalker was with you. May the light guide your way. May we meet again in the night, when the stars shine brightly and the moon casts its silver glow.
Alright, after all this running, I'm pretty sure I'd be guzzling a few of those. bath, everything else. There's police lights outside. Totally not suspicious. Can't go outside. Don't have a light anymore. The investigation into the incident at Sonax Labs has concluded. According to the police, some generators on the lab's premises malfunctioned, which could have caused a major explosion. However, the technicians managed to prevent it, and everything's okay now. So please don't worry. All those involved in the incident have been arrested. Yep, like us. Even though we were just a bystander. I want to know how they knew where we were.
Yep. We're gonna have to hold you on suspicion of a bunch of crimes. Wait, what?
Yeah, you have to...
When you put the camera over here, we're also gonna need to look at all the footage from that camera.
Yeah, that is definitely... Once again, would have been better delivered if it wasn't an AI voice.
Good afternoon,
or text-to-speech voice.
I would like to inform you that the incident that occurred on the premises of the research facility has been resolved. At this time, I can only confirm that there was an emergency situation, and nothing more significant. All is well, and we are addressing the aftermath.
I believe that's the end of this game. But once again, I feel like the writing could have been a little better. We are going to have to hold you on the suspicion of a bunch of crimes. Dude, I don't even know where I am, how I got here. Who are you? Pretty sure you have to tell me what you're arresting me for, not just a bunch of crimes. And this is my personal property. You don't have to get a warrant to look at that. Like, if you're good, the way they're behaving is totally, oh yes, totally not a standard cop. That is I'm on the company's dime cop. Just to tie up loose ends. Probably they took my guy, stuck him in a new experiment, and got me killed. Who knows? Honestly, I think my issue is I don't know why my guy did any of the stuff he did. Because it's like, oh, I'm stuck in here. Okay, trying to get out. How did I even get here? And then it's like, the director's like, you work for me now, whether you want to or not, because you're on my turf. I control everything. I would have been like, I have all the time in the world. I've got access to some tools. I can bypass your security door, among other things. Pretty sure, because they look like pretty stucky security doors. And also most of the place is already broken down anyway. Like, no way I would be going, oh yes, I'll blow up the core for you. That just sounds like, here, let me help cover up your screw up. And we then, once again, just like how they play, I implicated myself as the saboteur. Which they're somehow going to try to use my own footage against me in a court of law, which I'm pretty sure is going to be completely not actually a court of law, because I don't think that's how that would work, even remotely. But I don't know. There's just some of the writing here felt really iffy. Like, Giant Corporation is evil because it's evil, and you can't do anything because you have NDA agreements, even though we kidnapped you and everything. Wait, no, that's not how any of that works. Yes, we'll pay you $500 for 30 minutes of your time to help us with these experiments. If you die, or we are dissatisfied with your services, we can refuse it. In other words, it was all constantly, we don't actually have to do anything. The company always had an out of some sort that was totally not legal in any way, shape, or form. And like, yeah, I get evil company is evil company, but it doesn't fit with reality enough to work, because even an evil company has to work within the bounds of the system in order to do it, in order to exist. This suggests that they were above the government in their authority of the situation. They had complete control over the police force. They had complete control over everything. Now, to say a company like this wouldn't have government backing to do research into a subdimensional space, sure. But under those conditions, they probably wouldn't need to cover up their stuff so much, and also the way the documents talked about it all made it sound very much like they were an independent company. So, I don't know, just that's my gripes with the game, mostly, is the story doesn't quite fit. They were going for a reality matches up situation. Evil company, you're screwed no matter what you do. And I feel like there would have been... I just don't like the way it worked. The way they worked it doesn't feel quite right. In that it doesn't feel like the way it would really have been able to work. And the way anyone could have... some of the reactions didn't feel right. Everyone had AI voice, or text-to-speech voice, except for one or two people there, and the director, I think, had an actual person's voice. Maybe. I'm not even confident on that for sure. Admittedly, this was probably a super low-budget game, possibly developed by a single person. So there's reasons why some of these things are the way they are. And then, I don't know, there's just a few spots that just bug me about it. I think it just... Well, you got my whole complaint about this. The way it was written doesn't feel like it quite adds up to me. Doesn't fit the story, they're going for a serious reality kind of setup, it feels like, but they didn't know... They felt like they didn't know law enough to make it work with the script. But I'm not sure how best to explain that. But then, also, it may also have been a lost in translation issue, because I feel like maybe part of this was because, some of the wording was done in sentences makes me think this may be a non-native English speaker, and so maybe the government and everything would work like that in another country, but this felt like it was set in America, and it wouldn't have worked that well like this in America. I don't know. Now, what I did like about the game, you got to experience various parts of the Backrooms levels, and that was cool. There was a lot of cool designs. I really liked that. Like I mentioned, the spidery vine blood effect that suggests that, hey, this is actually bacterium infected individual. It's starting to infect and spread. I liked a lot of the visuals. They were really cool, except for that they were a bit too fuzzy to follow in various cases. I would have liked to not have this quite as much fuzzy texture on the screen and rendition. I'm not sure why it was that way. Also, install sound adjustments, please, so I could just turn down the volume on the speech, on voices, or turn up the volume on voices. Especially the early part, sounded like the volume would go from very quiet in the Backrooms to hello, person yelling, and You can give the yell effect without actually hurting the listener's ears. Let's see here. I don't know. But that's the Backrooms escape. Oh, something else I will give them credit for. It actually seems to be a completed Backrooms game. Most Backrooms games are in development still, and like given a chapter by chapter format. This one looks like they actually got all the chapters out. It's done. Great job there. One last criticism I want to give. It felt like a lot of the places we ended up, there was very little or no direction. It was literally just go bounce off the walls until you find a switch or a key card that you could easily overlook and get frustrated trying to find. Push all the buttons, open all the doors, go through, and the puzzles were just there to slow you down. Going through the things, they didn't feel like they served much of a purpose. Also, apparently this place had worse security in the world because they put their codes everywhere, they lost their key cards everywhere. Some of the key cards could be, you could attribute to issues with security, and so someone dropped their card when they died, or in the panic of evacuating, they left it behind. But seriously, there were just cards lying around everywhere. Also, they're all the same card. So why couldn't we just pop in, scan it, step through the door, pop it out, and use the same card over and over again? It felt like there was no reason why we kept having to find new cards. Because they were all the same card. We should have just been able to reuse the old one. I think it would have benefited to have different levels of clearance. And like, one card gets us through certain doors, but then later on we have to go through other higher security doors, and it has an indicator of, no, this is a level 2 area. You need level 2 clearance to get through here. Find a card for that. At least then it would have a little more clarity as to why we need the cards for those and couldn't reuse them. And yeah, I feel like we need a little more direction as to why our character is going along with this. At first we're trying to get out. Then it's the director said so. But there was no real good indicator as to why our character went along with it. In my opinion, anyway, that it didn't feel like we had good motivation, especially near the end there, to do anything the director told us to do. Cool concept, though, and fun ways of doing it. Yeah. Alright, I've ranted enough. Gripes with the game. Some good spots, some bad. I kind of wish I could give this thing a neutral review on Steam, just because it's like, as you've heard, there were several areas I felt like it fell short, or could use work, needs more work, needs some improvements, just something to really get it across that line of just being, okay, it was there. But I don't feel like I could quite give it a positive review. Other than to say, hey, it worked perfectly fine gameplay-wise, like, no glitches. 0 glitches. I didn't have one crash on this game at all. That's great. Also, why did we have the tests between each chapter? That feels like that should have had an tie-in with something. An effect on the ending, maybe. As far as I know, there wasn't. I don't know of any alternate endings for this game. Maybe I just missed it. But it feels like that lacked direction. Like it was almost providing feedback between the chapters in some way, but and maybe build up to something bigger. Maybe if they had another chapter in the future to kind of wrap some things up, like our character is escaping from the police. After all, that was another part that kind of threw me off as weird. It had all that stuff about the skin stealers near the end there, and then there was nothing. No skin stealer, no interaction. We had a couple of monster interactions, but then nothing with that one where it clearly mentioned it and suggested there was going to be one. So yeah, maybe a future chapter, if they're good, if the development on this game isn't considered done, a fourth chapter to wrap things up would be good, and could make the other one, to make all this come together. Okay, yeah, we got arrested by a corrupt police officer. We're being taken to probably not really prison, but to be lost in the woods. Skinwalker walks into the road because he escaped from the facilities, from the back rooms through the facility out into the world before everything collapsed. And the cop car crashes. It kills the police officer, and we have to evade it through the woods as it's hunting us down. And then we get out, escape, maybe off into the woods, maybe even back towards where we started that video when we were walking down a trail in the woods before we fell into the back rooms. And actually, that would be a really fun way to end it. We end up back where we fell into the back rooms almost, but and then have the optional ending of we fall into the back rooms and kind of end back where we started and get killed by, say, the bacterium waiting down below us. Or if the player were to, say, recognize that, run around it. Run around that patch of trail where we fell in before and have the Skinwalker fall in back into the back rooms. Thus, dealing with the outbreak of the Backrooms entity by having it go back to the Backrooms, and our character escaping off into the woods and hopefully never getting caught by this. Obviously, not good company again. I feel like that could provide a whole bit more gameplay and a much more satisfying ending that ties up a lot of the loose ends that this left. That it felt like it shouldn't have left. Okay, now I'm really done. I think that's all my thoughts on that. That's the game. Good and bad. Comments below, what did you guys think? I've ranted about this, obviously. Offered suggestions, I'm trying to give constructive criticism in case the developer ever does see this. Ways they could build off it, how I felt about it. I do want to try. I'm trying to be honest about it. Like, there were parts I didn't like, but there were parts I very much did. And I feel like it just needs a little something else to bridge that gap, to tie in the stuff that I didn't like into something I could like about. To explain the parts I didn't like into a way that makes sense. A little bit more. Just something to wrap it up. But comments below, what do you guys think? Thoughts? How could this have been done differently that would have made sense for you? Did you just like the way it was? Did you feel that it handled it well enough? You're good with that. Like, give me some feedback on your opinions on this. Because, I'm not necessarily right. That's just my feeling. I do have some experience with story writing since, well, I studied creative writing and the English language. I have some familiarity with putting stories together. And I feel like perhaps that's part of why this bugged me as much as it is, because it felt like it missed some narrative steps and left some areas unattended to fully. Alright, that's enough for me. Thanks everyone so much for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe to keep up with the releases if you haven't done so already. Have a great night. Bye!